From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News on this Friday. I'm Andrea Lutz. This afternoon, the Powell County Sheriff's Office says it's located and killed the grizzly bear involved in this week's deadly attack that killed a woman from California. Sheriff's Office received a report from a resident who found her door ripped off and large claw marks where it was present on Thursday evening. A short time later, a male grizzly bear was killed in the area. 65-year-old Leah Davis Logan of Chico, California, was pulled from her tent in Ovando and killed Tuesday morning. And since FWP has been searching for that bear. On to the fire watch. This afternoon, crews are battling several fires in the LOLO National Forest. The West LOLO Complex fire is burning near Superior and Plains. That fire grew to more than 220 acres. Air resources, smoke jumpers, and ground crews are already working this fire. Fire crews expect even more fires to emerge in the coming days due to the hot weather and dry fuels. This week, this area experienced a heavy activity of lightning strikes. And there's a new wildfire reported in Madison County this afternoon. The Goose Fire is just north of Hidden Lake near the Montana-Idaho border. The fire is burning 20 acres. So far, there's no word on how the fire is being fought or the cause. Those with the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest say roads could be closed at any time because of this fire. Also today, crews are battling fires burning in the Belt Creek White Sulphur Ranger District of the Helena, Lewis and Clark National Forest. There are 4 fires. The Balsinger Fire is burning 50 acres near the South Pilgrim Trailhead near Belt Park. The Ellis Fire is about 75 acres. It's burning in the Dry Range area near Smith River. And the fire is being actively fought with 1 tanker and a helicopter and local fire crews. And the Forest Service says other fires include the Iron Mines Fire and the Middle Fire. And now we go to Musselshell County, where wildfires are expected to keep fire crews busy today. Residents were briefly asked to evacuate because of the 500-acre Western Fire. 2 other fires are also sparked in this county. The Peterson Fire south of Melstone, burning in difficult terrain, and the Queens Point Fire, all started by lightning. In Bozeman, city commissioners might be asking residents to conserve their water usage under a Stage 1 drought advisory. If the city goes to Stage 1, residents would be asked to proactively reduce water usage through voluntary efforts. Snowpack and stream flow levels are low, and officials say on top of that, hot and dry summer conditions are impacting water supply. Well, the city says reducing the amount of irrigation can make all the difference.
The biggest thing that residents can do, especially if they have an in-ground irrigation system, is either reduce the time that your system is running for, or just take 1 day off. And if you're running 4 days a week, just run it 3 days a week. That actually makes a really big difference.
And the Water Conservation Manager also says under Stage 1 drought, the city has a goal to reduce system-wide water by about 10%. We'll keep you posted on that. All right, our Miller Robson joining us now as we take a look at the forecast heading into the weekend.
And this weekend is going to be heating up. In fact, we'll probably have heat advisories across the state and high fire warnings as well. Let's take a look at temperatures. It's a little cooler today. We're in the wake of a cold front, mainly in the 70s and 80s. Lewistown, you're lucky right now. You're sitting at 69 where we have some rain falling down to cool you down. Also, we're talking about the wildfires. Now, in Billings, we still have a chance to see some of that light smoke coming in from Musselshell as the wind shifted in from the north-northeast. But we are still seeing some moderate smoke from Butte to Harrison down to Dillon over to Ennis. Now, that should start to go away as we go along today and we start to see a bit of a shift in the winds, but still the air quality's not the best. So the fire danger still continues as we get into the weekend, as it's going to be very dry and things do heat up. And there is a threat of some severe weather today in parts of the state. We'll take a look coming up.
All right, Miller, thanks for that. We'll check in with you in a little bit. Southern California, Arizona, and Nevada are getting blasted by another potentially deadly heat wave. CBS's David Begnad is in Palm Springs, California, where the desert heat is an extreme threat.
It was just after 1 p.m. local time. The temperature outside was 108 degrees.
Are you injured?
The call came into 911 with a man saying, "Please help me. I am trapped on the side of a cliff."
I'm not injured. I've been in the sun and just sunburned.
What we're going to do, we're getting to find out the exact GPS coordinates of the patient, ping him from his cell phone,
get up to the patient if we can.
A crew of 20, some of them volunteer search and rescuers. The decision was made to rescue the man using a helicopter.
They said they're going to hoist him.
The rescuers told us the man should not have been out there hiking in the first place.
Is any hiking recommended in these temperatures?
No hiking when it's above 100 degrees.
The rescue operation, a success. That trapped hiker, known only as James, was flown to safety.
So is this guy lucky
He's very lucky.
still had a cell phone signal?
He still had a cell phone signal, but look at the way he was dressed. Pair of shorts. The sun's going to cook you out here.
What happened that you needed to call 911?
I was on the edge of a cliff. He went down somewhere and I went down somewhere else. I took rocks out of my shoes and lost track of him, and that was it.
He was lucky. Jeffrey Martin Sear was not. This is the last photo of Jeffrey lounging by the pool during the last heat wave in mid-June. And that's all he was doing for more than an hour, officials say. He was not hiking, not doing anything strenuous. But it was 119 degrees that day, tying a record. Jeffrey was planning on meeting his friend Jill Langham for a drink at a bar called Hunter's. He sent her this ominous text message.
I'm so winded. Will explain when I see you inching my way towards Hunter's.
Jeffrey never made it. He collapsed and later died of complications related to heat stroke. You should know that a majority of the 911 calls where people are in distress somewhere in the mountains come from out-of-towners who come here to visit, and then they get themselves in trouble. David Begno, CBS News, in the desert here in Palm Springs, California.
All right, there are big developments in the investigation into the assassination of Haiti's president. Authorities say 17 suspects have been detained so far in Wednesday's killing, including 2 men believed to be U.S. citizens. 15 of the detainees are from Colombia, and police are hunting for 8 more suspects, vowing to bring all the attackers to justice. PFIZER says it's now ramping up efforts to roll out a COVID-19 booster shot to help increase immunity. The company's also working on a newer version of the vaccine to target the Delta variant. That comes as the CDC director says more than 9 million Americans now live in parts of the country where COVID hospitalizations and deaths are spiking significantly among people who have not been vaccinated. In Red Lodge, CERT crews will have to cover more ground as they continue trying to find missing hiker TATUM MORELL in the Beartooth Mountains. The search was focused on a 15-square-mile area near the West Fork of Rock Creek, but now, after finding no signs of the 23-year-old, rescuers will expand their search. A National Guard helicopter took high-resolution photos from above the mountains just last night. Those images will be used by ground crews to determine where they need to look for her next. There's some new scrutiny over Northwestern Energy's proposal to build a gas-powered plant in Laurel. Several Montana cities are asking how Northwestern determine what led to that process. Officials in Bozeman, Missoula, and Helena say it's short-sighted to launch a gas-powered plant when cheaper, cleaner alternatives are likely available. Northwestern Energy officials say the plant will prevent them from raising prices on customers.
We're proud of that. Like I said earlier, that's a significant change from where we were 10 years ago and certainly where the rest of the country is right now.
All right, and Northwestern Energy must get approval from the Public Service Commission, of course, before that plant can move forward. The case is expected to involve months of testimony, hearings, and deliberation, and likely won't be ruled on until next year. All right, we have more ahead on the new news on this Friday. There's a new winner, and we're taking you to the finals of the B as we meet her. Take a look at how she won. And Miller's coming up next with a look at the forecast, but we're going to leave you with this for the time being, a live look at Yellowstone National Park.